Hi, and welcome into Theo's Coffee Break podcast for the next episode of season 4. As you can see, things are looking a little different. I have a really janky setup right now, so I have literally the mic attached to this chair, and we're here on the floor. Um, but we're making it work. Whoops, hello, I just hit the mic, my bad. But we're making it work, right? So still in transition, still in between with things. But we're gonna be shuffling some cards today again, and this is the positive affirmation one. And today we have bring balance here at the bottom of the deck. And this one says you're putting too much energy into something, creating lack somewhere else. Take action now to correct the situation or risk further imbalance, which could lead to an undesired result. And I'm not going to lie, that's pretty relevant to what's happening in my life right now. But I strongly believe that life experiences is where wisdom is gained. And in those experiences, that's where we get the knowledge of what not to do and what to do next time, right? So, anyways, I encourage you to come on over for today's coffee break. And I'm just going to try to keep it as lighthearted as possible. But also, I thought, you know what? I don't want to shuffle these cards alone. And usually, the messages that come out are really great advice and something that I am better for knowing it now. And I thought I would share this with you guys as I am still in transition. So come on over for today's coffee break, and I will see you there. All right. Turning off the phone, turning off the light, and moving my computer over so I can just keep an eye on it. It's been acting up lately, so I want to make sure that we don't miss anything while we are recording today. But yeah, today's big message is going to be about balance. All right, it just stopped out of nowhere, so yeah, the computer's still acting up. And I just want to say there are people watching me at this time, targeting my work, but it is their life and their choice. So if they want to spend their day obsessed with me, that's all about them. But anyways, back to bringing balance. I've talked about this in the past episode. All right. All right, so they just did it again. They are just disconnecting my interface, so I just have to plug it back in. But again, their life, their choice. If they want to be obsessed with me and target my work, that is all about them. So, bringing balance, I would probably encourage this person to choose to do something else with their life. However, for me, I am focusing on how to move forward from this situation, because it's just gotten really, really unfair. But again, we want to stay focused on the positive. So let's see what else comes out here. We have detach in the reverse. So I would say detach in the reverse is saying get focused. Stand your ground, right? This is something that I'm not going to give up on. I'm going to keep fighting it the best that I can while being as peaceful as possible. In the past, I've talked about this in past episodes as well, that the things that I'm asking for are the right things, right? Correcting the wrongdoings and making them fair, carrying out and serving justice. Those on the wrong side of it, bring them to justice. And in doing so, restores balance, right? So, detach in the reverse, I would say, is like you want to be able to know how to reprioritize your life. The things that still remain as a priority, you want to keep them a priority, right? So this is still a priority. However, can it be something that I can put to the side right now while I focus on what else is going on in my life? Absolutely. This is something that can run in the background. This is something that can run in the background. But I will definitely keep my eye on it, and I will definitely stay on top of it, right? So let's see what else comes out here. And we have gratitude and breaking through in the reverse. So it seems like we are on the verge of a breakthrough. However, we want to remain grateful at this time. I have been drawn close to God throughout this whole thing. That's no new information. It's all over my social media. It's, on LinkedIn, all over. You guys know this. I'm very close with God. Um, and in this experience, I have really come to discover that God is more than just a big man in the sky. And he's also not really your friend. He wants to be your friend, but you have to remember he's your creator, right? When he stitched you in the womb, he made you perfect in his image and wanted you to make sure that you know that when you're here, that you have everything that you need. So remaining grateful for this experience while also understanding he works in mysterious ways, I would say I've really gotten to know myself, and I really know my inner voice, and I really know where I stand on things. My conviction and my purpose has never been more stronger, and I now really understand that faith and hope, they're not something that's outside of you. They're something that's within you. Just like your relationship with God. It may be, quote unquote, outside of you, but when he stitched you in the womb, he put a part of himself in there as well. So, knowing that and understanding that, you know that he's just literally a heartbeat away, a prayer away. So, anything else for this? Okay, take a chance came out in the reverse. Now is not the time to be taking any chances. Now is not the time to be taking any chances. Right now, stand your ground, know where you stand, stick to your guns, and just everything is going to work out. It's going to work out. My audio is also coming in weird. Looks like this might be only on one side of the headphone, but I'll figure that out afterwards. We're just going to run with this and let it go because, like I said, so we have encouragement and abundance in the reverse. So the encouragement here is to continue to remain grateful for what you already have. God puts us in situations that are very uncomfortable, but he always provides exactly what you need. And I am grateful for that. I still have a place with running water. I still have food in the fridge. I still am able to complete my work, even with this really janky setup. I can still show up. But on top of that, I am really grateful for how well I know myself now. Because in the past, people could tell I was really struggling. And I would say now I'm not confused anymore. I am definitely not confused anymore. And, because of my relationship with myself and God and getting to know me, understanding boundaries, what does it mean to be nurturing? What does it mean to be remaining grounded in these times? Especially when they're uncomfortable as these. I know where I stand and I can count on myself. Right? In the past, there was a lot of insecurity, but I'm definitely not insecure anymore. I have nothing to hide. That is the best part of living in your truth and just being transparent as you can be. I have nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing. So, with that being said, I would encourage you all to really get to know yourself. Some of the best advice I've ever gotten in the past was when I was in college and with my speech professor. My speech professor encouraged us to talk to ourselves. And when you're preparing for a speech, to practice in front of a mirror. And when you do that, you know what your face looks like and you can kind of get your pace. I would say shuffling these cards has really allowed me to get to know my inner voice. And even when I'm by myself, I still talk to myself when I do these readings because now I feel that much more comfortable with my voice and what I say and what I speak. So I would encourage you all to really, really get close with yourselves, know your voice, know who you are. And in times when you have to speak up and tell your truth, you will feel more calm, more grounded, and more at peace with it because you have understood it and been able to process it better in your own time. And if that's something that you're still working towards, I would encourage journaling. Um, I would say brain vomit, just write and just write as much as you can, and just let that go until the thought ends. That was some advice I got from my therapist. Chris is here, so he just yelled down here. If you were wondering who that voice was, that was Chris. He comes by and visits every once in a while. But anyways, that's another thing too, journaling and getting those thoughts out of your head and onto paper. And as you do that, again, you understand where you are mentally, you understand where you are emotionally, and then you can go from there. And that has been something that has really helped with my insecurity. And that is probably the top reasons why I am not insecure anymore. Okay, so we're having some more computer things happen, but it's still recording, so sorry for that dead air. Uh, I'm going to wrap it up with saying thank you for joining today's coffee break. We're definitely still in transition. And as we continue to move forward, there are ways to donate to the coffee table if you feel inclined to. Um, Please rate the show wherever you get this podcast. And remember to be kind and to take care of yourself. And to everybody out there, no matter who you are or what you think of me or what I think of you, you are still welcome here at this coffee table. So until next time, I will see you in the next episode.